I'm in the club with all my bitches. This shit overly loaded. All these rats on me, I can't even hold them. Sheesh. Look at that motherfucker. Look at that motherfucker. Loaded. 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 Load. Loaded. 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 Not too much on the meat, y'all. We couldn't get much meat because the refrigerator all the motherfucking packed. So what the fuck more can we do? But we're gonna have to go back and get some more shit because we still ain't loaded enough.
I have a question for everyone here that buys their own groceries. When was the last time that you walked out of a grocery store like that? With 3 or 4 buggies filled to the brim with food and snacks and drinks and what have you. I'm a fat guy, and never in my life have I ever walked out the grocery store with that much food. And I highly doubt that anyone here that buys their own groceries goes to the grocery store and fills up 3 or 4 carts filled with food, especially in today's economy. But the people who do nothing, but maybe have a bunch of kids that they can't provide for, this is the norm for them. This isn't something crazy. This isn't something that happens once in a blue moon or once in a lifetime. This is every single month, often multiple times a month. I don't see any reason why people who supposedly cannot support themselves, why are they eating better, living better than middle-class families who bust their ass day in and day out to provide for themselves and their family. And not only do these people get all of this money to buy these groceries and stuff, they post videos bragging about it. Meanwhile, mothers and fathers sitting at home who just got off of work, maybe worked 12 hours straight, no days off. They got to come home after busting their ass. Maybe they have an hour that they can, go through social media and look at TikTok because they work all day and then they have to take care of the kids. And as they're going through social media, they see ghetto hood rats, EBT queens, that have never worked a day in their life out here just, oh, look at them, reloaded, look at all our groceries. It's crazy. And I don't think people fully understand what's going on here when we discuss the EBT wars. I think a lot of people assume that most of these women that we're seeing having these meltdowns, I think people assume that they're only getting a couple of $100s a month in groceries. Folks, there's a reason why these people are melting down and going so crazy. They're not going this crazy over $200 or $300 a month in food stamps. The reason why they're melting down and going so crazy over this is because many of them get thousands of dollars a month. I'm talking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in a month, folks. And they base their whole livelihood on that. They may spend $1,000 of it on groceries, and then they sell the rest, and they go on little vacations, and they pay their $8 a month rent because they're all on rental assistance too. So their monthly income, like food stamps is a large part of their monthly income. Not, the monthly income that they spend on food. No, they use it for everything, right? Because they get thousands of dollars a month. They get more money than any family needs to actually feed their kids, okay? That lady did not need to fill up 3 or 4 carts filled with all of those different boxes of cereal and stuff like that. That's overkill, but that's what the EBT carts look like. Because to them, it's free. And it's going to be replenished next month. And they don't have to lift a finger for any of the money. They don't have to do anything. The only thing they have to do is raise a bunch of fatherless kids. And all of this money just comes rolling into them. So when you see these meltdowns and you see them going crazy, understand they're going crazy because there's a lot of money that they're losing. It's not a couple of $100s for them to skim by. No, it's thousands of dollars that they live lavish lifestyles with. They live high on the hog. Like I said, they're eating better than most middle-class families. Hell, upper middle-class families. They're eating better than them. And, this is why we see such an intense reaction to what's going on here. And now, we've seen the threats that they're going to go rob the stores and all of that. Now they're openly planning, like, what locations they're going to show up at. They're planning all of this on social media right out in the open. Kind of like how when they plan, like, protests and riots, like, hey, show up at this location for the No Kings protest. You know what I mean? Or we're having a Black Lives Matter rally over here at this date. Show up here. We're going to act crazy. What they're doing now is, hey, November 3rd at 10:30, we're all going to be at ALDI on this street. And we're all going to run in and we're going to take everything. Immediately after that, we're going to go to this grocery store right down the street. We're going to run in and we're going to take everything. So they're organizing and they're getting the locations and the spots ready where they plan on acting a fool. And they're not necessarily doing this behind closed doors. They're doing it right out in the open on social media for everyone to see. And if we have people doing it in the open for everyone to see, there's even more stuff being planned behind the scenes. And some of them have even said, hey, even if we do get our food stamps, it's too late. We're rioting. We're gonna loot anyway. Because they're already hyped up. They want to loot. They want to steal. A lot of them are excited that food stamps may get cut off because they want an opportunity to act crazy. But just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, I brought a clip. Now, before I roll this clip, though, I need a huge favor from you all. It's quick, it's free and easy, but I need you to hit that like button and I need you to share the video. Also, don't be afraid to share your opinion. Let us know what you think so far down in the comments below. Now, if you really like the channel and you really want to show your support, you could always donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. It is always greatly appreciated, especially when I dive into stories and situations like this one, because we know this platform does not like people talking about stuff like this, but I do think it's something important to talk about. Because if people are going to be on here threatening to rob and do all of this other stuff, we should be allowed to call it out. So I'm going to continue to call it out, and I appreciate anyone that supports me along the way. Now, with that being said, let's roll this clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Public service announcement. Public service announcement. We all know that it's Halloween's Eve. We all know that Trump has cut off the EBT. So 12:30, we all meet up at 115th at ALDI's. 115th at ALDI's is going down, snatch and grab. Snatch and grab. And after that shit, we gonna hit, what's that, 71st at Save-A-Lot on bro. So y'all, let's rowdy up, you feel me?
So if you live in this area, do not go to ALDI because they plan on looting and acting a fool in ALDI. And let me tell you one thing. When this looting and stuff starts, there's a lot of violence. And you'll see looters fighting looters, looters shooting looters. There's going to be a lot of gangs involved in this looting. There's going to be rival gangs. Just like with any place, whenever there's a large crowd, You know, whenever there's a large crowd, especially with black people, often fighting and shooting breaks out. The same thing is going to be happening in these locations where people loot. And there's only so much food in the store. Someone may grab too much, and another person who's stealing says, hey, now I want to steal from you. And there's going to be people stealing stuff, and there's going to be people who are smart enough to not run into the store and steal. They're going to wait to rob you once you rob the store. So there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff going on. So if you live in some of these areas where you know it's going to get hectic, and you see the threats like, hey, we're going to be at this location and that location, do not go. Do not go. Steer clear of those areas, okay? Because things can get really crazy really quick. Now, this is the first time that I've heard threats towards ALDI. Most people are planning on going straight to Walmart. Walmart is like the #1 target in the EBT wars. And boy, oh boy, I hope they are ready. But places like ALDI, you see, places like ALDI, they're smaller. They don't really have many employees. They don't really have security. Walmart at least has like loss prevention. They have security. They got people checking your receipts. Places like ALDI, I'll go into ALDI sometimes and there may be like 2 people in there. One at the cash register, one stocking up. That's it. So they're going to go crazy in places like ALDI. Now, I wonder, is law enforcement paying attention to this? Because if I see this, then they should be able to see this. So are they preparing these locations that are being threatened? Because if you got 100 people on social media saying, hey, we're all going to meet up at ALDI on this street, on this block at this time, law enforcement should be aware of that and they should be taking certain precautions. But I don't know if that's happening. In fact, I feel like everyone's trying to like pretend like this isn't going on right now, even though it is. And you can't just pretend problems away. You know what I mean? But for them to be planning this out in the open is really bold. And I mean, they're making law enforcement's job easier because they know, hey, we need to be here. We need to be there. This person's making this threat. Well, we got them. They made this threat from their social media account. The only problem is I don't know if law enforcement is really doing anything about this as of yet. I don't know if they're making any preparations or if they just plan on seeing what happens. So we're just all going to have to wait and see. For now, though, I want to hear from you down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.